Alright, today's video is on this interesting little piece of, I guess you'd call it Cold War, Vietnam War era equipment. This here is an actual intrusion detection set. How it works is it uses the vibration from people's basically steps or vehicles moving along the ground to monitor an area. I haven't tested this one here yet because there were some repairs to do on it before I could. I guess I could go directly to it since I'll be describing the unit. Take it out of the box to start off with. First off, this is what it looks like. You open it up and you've got a few different knobs and adjustments here. You have 4 spots to put the probes. Well, according to the manual, they could be set up in series and parallel. So you could probably put a good amount of sensors in an area. And the kits come with 4 to start off with. So you connect them each to the old style push button connectors that you have here. You could test each one by turning the knobs to see if there's a break in the line or not, or if they're working. You've got the volume control, you've got the sensitivity control, and you've got the battery and line to connect to the meter, or completely off if you don't want to see the meter moving around. So we're testing the battery power and if there's connection in the line. 2 connectors for the phones and a ground connector. I'll show you what's the other pieces first, and then I'll show you what's wrong with my unit and why I'm not going to be testing it for you today. So we'll move that out of the way first to start off with. The back pouch of this thing here, you've got the rest of the pieces. Alright, so these are the headphones. Nice and old, as you can see. The set is from probably 1968, but I'd have to check that out. I'll show you how they all go together when I actually do the testing video. Just to keep this one here short. Got a couple of pins here for connecting it to the unit. Then you've got the actual detectors, which are these right here. A couple of clips for connecting to whatever length wire you're planning on connecting it to. They're properly sealed so that no water gets into them, because these things can be used underwater and they're designed to be completely buried, although you can just stick them in the ground if you wanted to, which I'm under the impression is what they did with these, because I don't find any dirt or signs of dirt on anything else other than the spike here. Chances are they probably won't even use much this kit here. How these work is that there's a coil and a magnet in there, as it picks up a little bit of vibration. One of the two, because I haven't opened this up yet, so I can't tell you which one it is, vibrates up and down, which induces current in the coil, which is amplified and picked up by the unit that you have over there. They're designed to be put in the ground and supposed to be 30 degrees of maximum from vertical. So you want to keep it as straight as possible for it to work and be as sensitive as possible. In theory, according to the manual, 30 yards from a sensor you should be able to pick up a person trying to sneak into the area. And vehicles could be picked up from about 100 yards. There's 4 of these with the kit. The last thing that comes with the kit is this right here, which is just a landing rod. You unwrap the wire that's on here, connect it to the spot for it in the unit, and you stick this in the ground. It's in the manual. It tells you that it's for when there's a risk of a lightning storm. Also for defeating or protecting against countermeasures that might be used by the enemy if they find your wiring, which would be connecting to a high voltage power source or high current power source. So that's what comes standard with the kit here. Now I'll show you this is just a Kinder Surprise egg with all the screws in it that I removed. Obviously not part of the kit, just the screws. Anyways, the reason that I'm not testing it out yet is because I'm looking for a new battery clip for it. The system or the unit holds 6 D-cell batteries, and what you did was you opened up the back end here. I've removed all the screws if you haven't noticed. So instead of just flapping off, it's going to come right off the piece. In here was a battery clip. When I got the unit, the original batteries were still in it. And anyone who's had electronic toys that have left the batteries in know exactly what happens when batteries are left connected. This is what's left of my battery clip that I removed. I'm not taking it out of the bag because it's a mess. But as you see, the clips are there. The 3 in the middle here came off with the batteries. You can see one right there. Very simple. Basically just holds the batteries in place, and then the wires that you see here, these 2 here, they don't actually run to anything on that side, they just run onto the opposite side of the box to connect them in series. The black wire here goes right to the center between the 3 and 3 batteries. It's a different circuit, I think, according to the manual. I can get a picture of that for you. Anyone understands? That's your battery set. Got 3 batteries there, 3 batteries there. The black wire is what you see right here, and then you have the positive and negative on the other ends of the 6 batteries. Anyways, I removed the piece. There's a lot of bad corrosion. Luckily for me, if you look at the bottom, it had started eating away at the aluminum, but it didn't go through, which means that the rest of the unit was protected from that. The fuse is a micro fuse, a 273 something or other. It's a 1/16th fuse. I have seen them for sale on eBay, but I haven't. I don't feel like spending $10 on shipping for a $5 item. So hopefully this one here is still fine. It looks like it's okay. And supposedly these were made for, this style of fuse here was made for NASA, if you believe what Wikipedia and them all tell you. Just goes, connects there, and it's to protect the unit's electronics, obviously, as every other fuse does. Alright, so as you see, the clip was supposed to be in there, but I've removed it because I will be repairing this, replacing it with another plastic battery clip if I don't feel like actually going and making myself a bunch of clips to reinstall on that plastic piece of fiberboard. Alright, now the thing that you probably don't get to see very often anyway. I'm assuming the rest of this equipment is in decent condition, because when I went to take off this back panel, it was really difficult to do. It was still sealed properly. So I'm assuming no one's really messed with it. So you pull off the battery piece here. As you see, there's no holes through the battery compartment, which is why I say at least that seems to be safe for there. Then you've got the speaker in here, the wires going from the battery compartment, and the fuse, the board, and all the dials connected. I looked at it quickly. There isn't any heat marks on it or anything, so I'm under the impression that it should be in usable shape. Alright, I was looking around for a clip for this thing, and it's proving difficult to find. The only place that had one wanted to ship it for $40, and for a $2.75 item, I really don't think I want to spend $45 on it. So I just took my batteries, because I wanted to test the unit out. Took the batteries and connected them all up in a series setup. I switched the middle set around so that it could run like an S, and I wouldn't have to connect all the wires to the system. I just ended up connecting the positive, negative, and the one that goes right down the middle. Cheap little pack design, but it's just for a test anyway. Alright, so as you see, I've connected one of the probes. I just stuck it in the box there, just to hold it upright. Piece of speaker wire, and I connected it to the first two terminals here. So what you did first was you turn on the sensitivity. You hear it squealing. So first things first, you switch the switches to the battery one, and you see that it says it's full. Then you could switch it to the line, and it's open, which means that it isn't connected to anything. So then you switch over this, and it hits line, as you see there. That shows that everything's connecting properly. Then you turn off your switch so you don't use the power for that. Then you set the sensitivity as low as possible so it doesn't make the squealing sound. You bring it just to here. Like here, I'm going to set it up like that because I want you to hear the difference. Put the probe sitting in that box. I'm going to tap my foot. It's a little too high. There you go. Picking up quite a bit, obviously, because you can see it's pretty sensitive. Any movement will actually make it start squealing like that. And that's basically how this unit's working. I haven't figured out how to switch it over to the headset. As you can see, it is connected, but for whatever reason it's still going through the speaker. I'll have to check in the manual. I haven't really gone into it, but as this is just a test, I have to show how these things worked. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I will set it up in an outdoor environment at my farm, and I'll be able to test that out over there. As you see right now, it just connected to that box over there. Just dropped in to hold it pretty much vertical. So we'll see what it's like when it gets buried and see how that works. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll get it all set up properly and we'll be able to make a testing video, an outdoor test video, by the time spring comes around. Anyways, thanks for watching.